Hello everybody, this is Ethan with WiseCrack Studios, and today I wanted to start a little series I've been wanting to sort of play around with. Now, something I've wanted to talk about for a while is actually why you would want to use certain types of guitars for different reasons. Now, that can be like why to use a Stratocaster instead of a Les Paul, that would be why to use a electric guitar instead of an acoustic guitar, etc, etc, etc. Today I thought that I would go over why to use a 6-string acoustic guitar versus a 12-string acoustic guitar. Now, first things first, I have this track ready to go. I've already recorded all the guitars to it, and I've recorded it twice, going through with both a 6-string guitar and a 12-string guitar. But before I actually play the song, I wanted to sort of go into what the difference is between the two. Now a 6-string guitar is sort of the standard. Just about everybody has a 6-string acoustic somewhere. But because that's the standard, there's a whole bunch of different side variations as well. I've seen a 7-string guitar, I've seen all the way to a 9-string guitar, where it's just meant to have extra tuning steps lower and lower or higher and higher. A 12-string guitar is a very specific variation on a guitar, where you take just about every string and you make another harmonic above them by an octave. What that effectively means, for all my non-music theory people out there, is you add another string that is playing one octave up what the other string is playing. Now, the only two strings that don't have this are going to be the two highest strings. They're so thin that if you tried to make anything any higher, you would just break the strings really, really easily. Most people don't worry about it, but it can be a little annoying sometimes when you want those extra harmonics. Now, the reason that you would want for your guitar to have those extra harmonics is because it helps to add a sort of a little chorus, almost phasey sort of effect with all of the different harmonics interplaying with each other, creating little distortions just to cancel each other out a little bit without actually canceling each other out. Perfect example would really be to call it an acoustic chorus effect, similar to the actual stomp box that you would use for a real electric guitar. Now, just to sort of demonstrate the difference, I have this same song recorded twice between a 12-string and a 6-string. Now, to start with, I really like just how simple it is overall. Now, that's both a good thing and a bad thing. I'll expound on the good for now. Right down here with this little riff that's just continuously playing, let me go ahead and play that just so that you can hear it a little clearer. It's a really simple part. It's when you hear it in there, it doesn't take up a whole lot of room, but it doesn't need to. It's just sort of an accent on top of everything else. Now, the one downside to that is it's also not taking up a lot of room, and it's just kind of an accent on top of everything else, as opposed to sort of being in the spotlight itself. This is sort of you get both a good and a bad from this. But I will say, especially with the actual rhythm guitar, the one thing that I don't like is that it's just kind of there. There's not a lot of effect to it. It would take a lot of mixing to make it sort of sit as though it's more front and center, more than it's just kind of in the back. Now let's go ahead and compare that to the 12-string recording real quick. Now already, the rhythm guitar is sounding a lot fuller and a lot nicer within the mix. And especially you throw a vocal onto there, it'll sit in the background, but it'll still be sort of there present in the moment as something that is playing right there, and not sort of just background behind the vocal. It already fixes one thing that I don't like quite as much. But the downside to that is that all of these little riff guitar moments suddenly get a little bit too loud. You remember that same little riff that I had you listen to before? Well, here it is now. And all of a sudden, within the mix, it just takes up a whole lot more space. Now, something that I would probably do in order to fix this little issue, just overall, is I would do a mix and match between the various parts. But especially this riff down here, I would change that out. I am all but certain that if I were to do that, it would create closer to a sound that I would want. I could do it any number of ways. I've already recorded the song twice. It's easy enough to sort of mix and match at this point. But the fact is that the option is there. I've already gone through and figured out sort of what I like and what I don't like. And especially, I made sure that the option is there to play around with, should I choose. A little bit of extra recording on recording day can go a long way on editing or mixing day. So, hopefully I've given you a couple of ideas to play with. If you liked this video, just give me a comment and I'm sure I'll do a couple more videos about various guitar sort of ideas. As for now, this has been Ethan with WiseCrack Studios, and I hope that you have a lovely day.